Hey everybody, welcome to the Gunther Show. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure that you like and share this video and tag somebody in it while you're at it. On today's show, I am extremely honored to be sitting with your honor and the honorable Judge Renee DiSalvo. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well. How are you, Chris?
I'm good. First of all, thank you for taking this time out with me and inviting me here to the headquarters too.
Well, thank you. It's an honor that you would even interview me. I admire you. We met months ago.
Yes.
And I was impressed with you then, and I'm even more impressed with you now.
Thank you.
You're very talented, and you do a great job. You fill a need that we have in social media.
Thank you.
And I appreciate your enthusiasm and your creativity.
That means a lot to me. See, you got to have me on camera blushing for a second. Well, thank you. But let's take it back with you. Like, what made you even decide to get into this crazy world of the judicial system and politics and things of that nature?
Well, when I was in law school, number one, law school was really never really on my radar.
Yes.
I didn't have enough confidence. I come from I have a history of domestic violence, and so I divorced and became a single mom. I was on welfare, and I knew that I needed to go back to school. And what I started at YSU with was creative writing and music.
Yes.
And I was told that I was really too old to make a living in that field. So I thought, okay, what can I do? I knew I needed, if I couldn't do that, I knew I needed to be in a profession that I was able to help people, to make an impact. And my whole goal was if I could even help one person,
yes,
just one person, then everything would be worth it. And I thought that law would open that door for me to be able to get into the community and to really help people at their darkest times, when they really needed help. So that's what I pursued. I pursued that. I graduated summa cum laude, and I went on to law school. And when I was in law school, constitutional law was by far my favorite course.
Now, even though I was not in law school, from the people that I know that have gone through law school, they say that that is the most intense time of your life. Was law school extremely intense for you?
Oh my goodness, it was. And as a single mom, my son is the one who bore the brunt of it. I mean, he was in school too, and it was when he was in high school, and there were times when I was studying for the bar, the kid couldn't breathe. I mean, if he was eating potato chips, he was getting grounded. You know what I mean? I mean, he couldn't breathe. So, yeah, it really is. It's very intense because you don't want to. Number one, you don't want to flunk out. Number two, you don't want to take the bar exam more than once.
Now, I've heard that from several people because they say the bar exam is the most intense test that you will ever take.
Well, I don't know. I've not taken like any other course, but it was 3 days of intense, nerve-wracking, time-sensitive. I mean, you're timed and it really was for me.
Yes.
Anyways, now there were a couple attorneys that I can name that I went to law school with and breezed through it. For me, that was not the case.
Yes.
I always had to study for everything that I got. So yeah.
So how long have you been how long have you been here in the Youngstown system?
I practiced law in the city of Youngstown for over 20 years. So I started
within that 20-year period. Mm-hmm. What exactly have you learned more about the Youngstown system compared to anywhere else?
Well, I was fortunate because I was a trial attorney, so I practiced all the way I was with Nationwide Insurance Defense, and my territory was all the way from Ashtabula down to Belmont County.
Yes.
So I will tell you that the judicial system and the Bar Association, the members of the bar in the city of Youngstown, in my opinion, are probably some of the best in the state.
Yes.
The lawyers, they help each other for the most part. There's very few bad apples. As much as maybe people give lawyers bad names, the lawyers in the city of Youngstown that practice here in Mahoning County, I think are some of the most qualified.
Yes.
And wonderfully cooperative bunch of professionals that I've ever met.
When you take a look at all of the people that you've collaborated with here in the city and that you've worked with here, who have been some of your mentors in the judicial system?
Oh my gosh, I really don't even want to go there, but I will tell you that there have been a few individuals that have always I've been like my go-to people. Some of the people that I was fortunate because I worked at the Mahoney County Bar Association before I became an attorney. So a lot of the judges and the attorneys I knew before I finished law school. So there's an attorney Martha Bushy. I remember working in the Bar Association, and she would come in, and she's a very established litigator.
Yes.
And she would come in, and she was so professional, and she was beautiful inside and out. And she never had to, you hear sometimes that some female attorneys have to use trash mouth and trash. This woman was just the epitome of what I saw a professional attorney to be like. There was an attorney, Janie Stevens. She has since passed away, and she was one of my mentors. If I had a question how to handle something or an ethical issue, I would contact her. Judge John Durkin, he was. I can't tell you how many times I was in his chambers with ethical issues and conflicts, and he was always there. Judge Krishbaum's always been available.
Yes.
I mean, I just have been very fortunate. Attorney Zena has always, as crazy as that guy can be sometimes, he's just a brilliant lawyer and has been very supportive. But I've not had bad experiences with any of the lawyers, and that's why I don't want to even start mentioning names, because I know so many of them, and they've all, everybody I've met has poured into me.
Yes.
And, my opinion, I've learned something from everybody, all the attorneys that I've worked with.
Learning from other people is amazing, but what have you learned about yourself during your entire tenure here?
Wow. I have grown leaps and bounds. When I first started, I was very regimented. I mean, if I'm supposed to be in court at 9, I was there at quarter till, and I expected that hearing to take place. If something was scheduled on the book, like a trial was scheduled on the book, I expected that to go forward. It's not. So it helped me be very flexible.
Yes.
One thing it has helped me to do is to realize and to learn that everybody has a story. Everybody has a story. Everybody has a sphere of influence, and everybody has history that makes them who they are.
Absolutely.
And that has played a great role in my role as a judge now. You take the individual. You can't lump people together. There's no cookie cutter solution for any person who comes before me.
Absolutely.
So I think that has probably been the greatest thing I've learned, and it's enriched me.
Yes.
It helps me fine tune when I meet somebody. It helps me fine tune, like, who are you?
Yes.
I want to know who you are. I don't want to know what you do. I want to know who you are. What has brought you to the place that you are now? Because those things can be very encouraging, and it also helps me determine how I can help that person.
Yes.
When I know a little bit about their history and where they're coming from. What are some needs that maybe I can help you with, so that you don't continue a bad pattern, or you can kind of become a better, more successful person.
Yes. All over the city of Youngstown, you see the signs, retain Judge Renee DiSalvo.
Well, you don't see them all over, but you will.
Yes.
You will be seeing more.
So during this process right now, what is it that you want the citizens of this community to know about you?
That I care. I'm invested in the city of Youngstown. I was born and raised on the south side of Youngstown. I've been active in the community my entire professional career.
Yes.
So I've been involved in different social organizations, charitable organizations. I'm currently the vice president of the Meet Me at the Cross, which is a 501c3 now that is based on unifying people.
Yes.
So if nothing more that I care about the city, I want to make it safe. I want to make it more productive. I want people to get set free from issues that might be keeping them down. You know, we're working very hard in my court. We've got the first human trafficking court.
Yes.
We're waiting to hear from the Supreme Court. We filed all the paperwork to become a specialized docket. These are women, mostly women. There's some men who, because of the great opioid problem that we have here in this area, are literally being another income source.
Yes.
They're objectified, and they're becoming an income source for these drug dealers. What's happening is they become addicted to these drugs themselves, and these drug dealers then say, well, you know, I'll provide you food, shelter, clothing, and drugs, and sell you and make a profit on you.
I think that's very wrong. And the reason, and now I know they try to say as a reporter you're supposed to be neutral, but I disagree with that logic for this particular reason in terms of a subject like this. If you're trying to help somebody get better, I don't believe it's necessary to give them the drugs and sell it to them, trying to get them clean, because now you're setting them back.
Yeah, well, they're not trying to get them better, because they can make up to $60,000 a year on one person. These drug dealers are not trying to make them better.
If anything, they're making them worse.
Yeah, because it's an income source. I mean, $60,000 for they do nothing.
Yes.
But they have people who come to their house to buy drugs, and they say, hey, you know, here's this one, you know, and they're all over.
Yes.
They're all over.
That's very irritating to hear about. So with you being somebody in a position of power, how do you plan on minimizing that? How do you plan on saying, okay, enough is enough, we cannot take this?
Well, we have this grace court. So what happens is these girls get picked up for either drug charges, solicitation charges, or other misdemeanors. Now, the municipal court is a court of misdemeanors. That's it. The municipal court, we have misdemeanors. We're not felonies.
Yes.
So they'll come in. Then we have an assessment tool approved by the Supreme Court. So they go through this assessment tool. It's basically questionnaire. This assessment tool will be able to identify whether this person might be a victim of human trafficking. If that's the case, there will be a referral that's made to my court. Right now we're not operating as a specialized docket, but when we get up and going, they'll make the referral to the court.
Yes.
The court will bring them in. They will plead guilty to the charges. And then we have different agencies and treatment facilities in place that will, if there is a drug addiction, we have drug specialists there
yes.
who will get them in a treatment plan. If it's mental health, we have mental health providers there who will get them in a treatment plan. If they need education, if they need schooling, we have resources available to hook them up with people to help get them out of this cycle.
Yes.
Housing, because a lot of times these women need housing. They need their basics met, because that's what their traffickers are meeting. They're meeting their basic needs, food, shelter, clothing.
Yes.
Because most of these women are on their own, completely on their own. So we have wraparound services that help them become independent.
Correct.
And better. The whole program's about two years long. Could take a little bit longer if they need it.
Yes.
We've even are coordinating and are cooperating with Rahab House, who some of these victims of human trafficking sometimes have to actually be taken out of the area so that their traffickers can't find them.
Yes.
And there's secluded houses. There's houses that are anonymous houses. I don't even know where they are. And so they will be taken there, and they'll be able to receive wraparound services there.
Yes.
Just to help get them out of that cycle.
So, why do you feel that the citizens of this community should reelect you to be their judge in terms of trying to retain you, in terms of you serving them? Why do you feel that they need to put you back?
Well, we're already working hard to help change lives, and we're seeing it. I've implemented the slip court, which was there. We've kind of enlarged it, and that's for driving under suspension. And I don't know if you're familiar, with the Valid Clinic and the amnesty program that's going on. So, we're doing a lot of things to help people get valid driver's license. We are the I want to say, 7th in the nation. I believe it was 7th.
Yes.
For driving under suspensions. And we were 4th or 7th. In 2017, we had 1.1 million suspended license in the state of Ohio. Of those, 3.4 million, okay, we had 1.1 million. Of those, almost a third had more than 2 suspended licenses at one time. In our area, I had court one day, I had 30 cases. 14 of them were driving under suspensions. There's so many people, it affects the working poor. They can't pay their insurance, so the insurance company sends a notice down to the BMV.
Yes.
They have they have a reinstatement fee to pay. They can't pay that because now they got to worry about paying the insurance for the next month. They might miss that. They're still showing that they have this reinstatement fee to pay, but maybe they run a stop sign and the licenses may be suspended because they didn't pay the insurance, so they pick up a license suspension, so now they have to go to court.
Yes.
Then they're going to have another reinstatement fee to end. It's a revolving door. So what we've done was we've enlarged the slip court, the driving under suspension court that we have. It's a diversion program.
Yes.
You come in, you plead, that gives you 4 months to get valid, then we dismiss the charges. So nothing's going down to the BMV. You don't have another reinstatement fee. On top of that, we are working. I was able to contact the other area misdemeanor courts, and the majority of them have been absolutely wonderful. The judges want to get on board. So we held a valid clinic earlier in June.
Yes.
We had over 200 people come through that. We were able to get people, and I don't have the total. We actually have our follow-up meeting is next week, so yes. I don't have all our totals yet, but we had thousands and thousands of dollars that were able to be written off of people's reinstatement fees with the amnesty program. So we're making an impact.
Yes.
You know, people are getting valid. The whole court is, it's a positive atmosphere. You're not coming, you're not getting berated. We're showing people, hooking them up with area agencies.
Yes.
You know, if you maybe something's going on with your house, there's agencies, you know, instead of you getting slapped for that, let's hook you up with somebody who can help you. You know, we're finding out that, like I said, everybody's got a story. Some people are before me, not because they're criminals, it's just because they either don't know the resources that are available to them.
Yes.
They just don't know where to get the help that they need, you know, or they just need someone to direct them.
Yes.
You know, so we're kind of changing the look. We realize that incarceration is not always the answer. Now, granted, there are those who I have put in jail because they need to. They're not going to change.
Yes.
And so that's what jail's there for. But we're finding, and even the Supreme Court has said, we need to start looking at treatment versus incarceration. You know,
yes.
We really got to start looking at the reform of the social justice, you know, who for the most part helps the poor.
Yes.
You know, and so we're changing that.
Well, in terms of changing that, do you feel that in your 20 years, do you feel that with you serving as a judge, that has helped change the community for the better?
Well, the court certainly has changed, and our ideas have changed. The beauty was that I was a defense counsel for a number of years. I was a prosecutor. I was a mediator. So I knew what was going on, and I practiced in the municipal court.
Yes.
Constantly. So I know this court. I knew what wasn't working. So when I took the bench, I knew what needed to be changed.
Yes.
And Judge Baldwin and I are basically of the same mindset.
Love Judge Baldwin.
I do
love
too.
Judge. Hey, Judge.
I'm very fortunate that she is my administrative judge.
Yes.
I truly am. I have a great deal of respect for her. And we pretty much are on the same mindset that we need to help those who need help. Incarcerate those who don't want to change.
Yes.
You know, but help those who need the help. She's instituting a drug court. She's filed the paperwork, so we're waiting for all this certifications to come through. She heads up the Veterans Court.
Yes.
So we're making changes, and we're moving in a positive direction.
Yes.
Positive direction.
I remember when she was running for, when she was running for the municipal court position, and she had so many events, people would come out. What events do you have coming up that you want the people to come out to?
Well, we just had a fundraiser. We're going to have a golf outing coming up. We're going to be having a couple more. We're going to have a prayer breakfast sometime in September. There's going to be a couple more fundraisers that we have to solidify. So, but I don't have anything on the ticket right now.
Yes.
Our golf outing is September 7th. That much we know. But we've got some other ones planned. So.
I don't think y'all want me out there playing golf. I might tear up the whole golf course.
Hey, listen, I have clubs, but what I do, wouldn't define as golf either. But you can come out and have fun.
I'm pretty good at putt, but real golfing, no. But if anybody wanted to connect with you, how could they do that?
You can go on Facebook, Retain Judge Renee DiSalvo. We do have a website, which is retainjudgereneedisalvo.com. So you can go onto Facebook and look me up and hook up with us there, send us a message, and all the information's right there.
Well, nothing else needs to be asked. Your Honor, thank you so much for this time. Greatly appreciate you.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Be sure you guys like and share this video. The Honorable Judge Renee DiSalvo on the Chris Gunther Show. Thank y'all for watching. I'll see you next time.
Thank you.